Hey y'all, hey, we are back for another review of All the Queen's Men. We are on season 2, episode 19. There's only 2 episodes left in the season, so let's get right into it. Again, season 2, episode 19, entitled Danger, Danger. So, Madam and the concierge are rolling around in the sack. Granted, last episode they have kidnapped his wife because she keep coming for Madam. She started it. She keep coming for Madam, and Madam has to she got the one upper. So he wants to know, what the invite was about, and she claims it was just about the booty call. And then the danger associated with hooking up with him is what she enjoys the most. She also reminds him that she would end him right then and there if it came down to it. So, not too much. She's sure he would do the same. So, it's not like she don't know he's capable of doing the same to her, but I just want you to know that I'm also capable. He still wants her to leave Lotus alone, and she whispers in his ears and tells him, like, baby, it's too late. It's too late. It's done. What's done is done. And so now we have to deal with that. So she grabs that 5 from under the pillow as he's trying to get dressed, because now he needs to try to call people and rectify the situation and figure out what's going on. So he grabs his phone to see what's happening. And he calls Lotus. There's no answer. Calls Fernando, his brother, to go upstairs and see if Lotus is in the room. Nope, she not in there. Fernando also cannot find his wife, but concierge is like, listen, I don't have time to figure out you and your wife's thing. You go find your wife, because I need to find mine. What did you do to her, Madam? And Madam, what did you do, Madam? What did she do? That's it. What did she do? What did she do to you, Madam? Oh, yeah, she sprayed my club, by way of the drive-by. He says, oh, I didn't hear anything about this. So he's just oblivious. So it's like Lotus can do anything she wants to because of who her dad is, and there's no actual repercussions. And Madam has decided, yes, there will be. I'll deal with the fallout. I'm not afraid to die, so whatever it is, but I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get you before you can get me, basically. And he doesn't think that that's something she would do. And she tells him like this: I know for a fact that she worked with Judge Ross and the council to try to get my club shut down, and 9 people were shot that night. And she tells him that he won't ever have to worry about her again. Essentially, like it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Miss Lotus Lavender at this point. And we know that it's a grave mistake and her father's cartel. But Madam enjoys, the thought, the threat, the actual participation in war and warlike efforts. So it's just another day at the office for her. So now they are now official enemies. Now that she's made this chess move, and she also reminds him like this: I never looked at you as anything other than that. You was just a good ride for the moment. So I'll see you on the flip side. I'll see you on the other side of the fence. All right. We're going to skip talking about Big D and Dime because that's annoying enough as it is. All right, so Miss Runaway Bride is having a nightmare, right? And Blue is sitting up looking at her because wherever she can get information is where she can get it. If you're talking to your sleep in a nightmare, it's where she's going to get it. She wakes up in a cold sweat, and Madam says that she was saying his name in her sleep. It's not gonna come together this episode, but next episode it's gonna come together. Anyway, and she reminds her and assures her like, you're safe with me. But she doesn't feel safe though. She knows that Blue might be in danger because her husband is a dangerous person. And by the end of episode 20, we definitely confirmed that. But she doesn't want Blue, involved in it. And my sentiment is, if you didn't want her involved, why in the hell you still over there? If you don't want her involved, you're at her place of residence. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what do you mean? I don't want you to get involved, but I'm involved. You're here. So she's actually involved. Anyway, Blue is going to talk to Madam about getting her a job at the club. So, to be continued on that. Midnight is in there getting his rocks off when Babyface calls him from jail. He tried to call Madam, Blue, and Tommy, and nobody else is answering. They got other shit going on. And he tells them, let them know where I'm at. They pressure me, but I'm not gonna say nothing. And then the detective comes over and tells him like his grandma, I guess the lady who raised him, and basically pressuring him to go talk to her, I guess to get him to break down, to kind of turn on Madam. But Face is too involved. He's too deep in the game. He not gonna do that. So she needs to find another angle to try to get information on Madam. Which this lady still, like, this thorn in her side is going to be the cause of her demise, but she thinks she can't be touched. Madam thinks she can't be touched. Lotus thought she couldn't be touched. Everybody don't think they could be touched, and there's a whole lot of touching going on. So, that's going to be interesting for everybody. Everybody's going to be dead at some point, I'm sure. All right. Madam's watching a news report about the shooting and the death of Judge Ross and her husband, and they think it was gang related. Tommy also tells her that Tandy was able to get her stuff cleaned up pretty good also. So, those are in the clear. She don't have to worry about that. But she's going to have a new worry when she does what she does to Lotus here very soon. But Madam realizes that Blue is talking real soft and sweet, and that lets her know like she getting some she getting some cutty. She getting it in where she fit in. And Madam tells Tommy and Blue that the concierge might be pulling a big move since they have his wife. And then Midnight is talking to Blue and tells Blue that they got Babyface last night. Blue isn't sure that he won't talk, but Madam don't think he will because he's pretty sold out to the crew anyway. Blue ain't really sure that they need to do what they finna do to Lotus. So she's talking to Madam one-on-one. She's very connected, same premise that the concierge has been telling her. And Madam don't give a damn. She don't want to hear none of it, which I can understand Madam's sentiment because, girl, you keep trying to kill me. It's not like I'm your husband's first side piece. You guys have an arrangement, but it's something about Madam that is a thorn in Lotus Lavender's side, and she just wouldn't let it go. So, you get what you get. And Madam is prepared to pay whatever the penance is on the back end, but you get what you get, essentially. All right, Fuego goes to Doc and tells him that Stacy, Sabrina, his ex-girlfriend, her dad came by and he is losing his shit. Like, he is falling apart. Doc tells him, like, give it some time. It'll pass. You didn't do nothing. Remember, they made you do it. You didn't do anything. He still want to call the cops. He still want to tell them what happened. So Fuego is becoming unraveled. And by the end of the next episode, it's probably going to cost him quite a bit. I think it's just the fact, like, he's not built. He's literally just not built for this kind of stuff. And now he's wrapped into it and he don't know which way to go or what to do. And that's unfortunate for him. But it's the nature of being in that business, I guess. All right. We have to talk about Big D and Dime now. Unfortunately, they're exhausting. They are like the Calvin and Sabrina of the series. Like they're a couple. No, they're not a couple. That's Amp and Dime are giving me those two. But I feel like they're going to give me those same type of vibes, like in and out of it, back and forth, up and down. It's just going to be a whole lot of mess, and it's going to be annoying. It's going to be exhausting. Anyway, Big D and his shirt vest combo situation, he's fixed Dime's car and claims he wants to take her out to dinner, in payment. And she's really just trying to pay him cash money because she knows, what he's looking for, and she don't have time for that. Amp rolls up with his attitude, and he's asking, "Are y'all screwing?" Blah blah blah. Mind you screw 5 or 6 or 10,000 girls in the club every night, and you are obsessed and concerned about who Dime may or may not be screwing. All right, sure. Now he want to holler at D man to man, and he's flexing the fact that Madam is his aunt, and D is just unmoved by the entire spectacle of it all, and now he claims they're not worth him getting upset about. And Mr. Amp, he's off the rails at this point, and unfortunately, the train is too far out of the station, and it's going to cost him gravely very soon. But that's going to be episode 20. All right. So I was sitting here thinking, because I'm thinking about D, how he was plucked up randomly, brought to the club, and he's now he's now on the main stage and in the main dressing room with the guys. And I was thinking, trying to foresee, right? Maybe D was brought in because they're about to lose a man. At the end of Episode 20, I'm probably going to further confirm that. I've already seen the episode, the interviews, they come out at the same time, I'm just doing the review separately. Anyway, because he is immediately brought in with the main people. So I feel like we're going to lose one of the Fab Fours by probably next season, because we didn't lose anybody last episode. I'm not sure who we're going to lose, or if we're going to lose two people. There's two people I'm sure that may no longer be at the club, either Fuego or Babyface is probably going to, Madam's probably going to help him get off on the charges if she can escape her little trip she got to take. But we'll get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, the club is back open for business. So, we're back to business as usual. Trouble and Casanova, they're still at each other. She tells him that he has a VIP client, and he tells her, I ain't doing them shits no more. He thinks it's a setup, so she tells another dancer, another dude, we don't know his name at this point, well, I don't know it, that nobody's really up there. She was just, I guess, just messing with him. I don't know if she's trying to set him up or just waste his time. I don't know what the premise was to tell him somebody was up there and nobody wasn't. She just essentially doesn't like him. We run into Rashawn. Rashawn is back at the club trying to get back in. Rashawn is who is the catalyst that got Tandy and Madam in a little conniption because Tandy and her husband kind of abducted him / made him like a sex slave, and Madam had to go in and save him, which, made Tandy pissed at her. He tells us that he messed up by going to Tandy's and that they really did some damage to his insides. Like internal damage to his body with what they were doing to him. He should have listened to Trouble, and she's like, listen, it's okay. It's a lesson learned, but he wants to talk to Madam to see if he can get back in at the club, I guess back to work or whatever. So we'll see what develops with that. Lotus is tied up in the basement. I'm sorry, I don't really laugh. Lotus is tied up in the basement, and her and Madam are like the same level of crap talking. They're not moved by anything. Lotus ain't moved, Madam ain't moved, and so we're just unmoved. She tells Blue, Tommy, and Madam that they made a very big mistake. They don't give a damn who she is at this point. It's too far. It's too far gone. The train has left the station. Nobody really cares who you are at this particular point. And then she asked her, hey, Lotus, did you have my club shot up last night? Well, yes, I did. Oh, admirable that you actually admitted it. Cool. She offers them a lighter punishment if they let her go. And that lighter punishment, man was like, give me a thrill. What is that lighter punishment? Oh, I'll let you live with one leg and one arm if you just let me go. That's as far as the damage that I'll do to you guys once this is over with. And Madam tells her, I don't negotiate. When people are dead, they're just dead to me. And you, my friend, are dead. So no deal. She tells Tommy to go get I'm about to say this word, and it's been pissing me off for the last 2 or 3 episodes that they keep saying guillotine. Go get me a guillotine made. Tommy, go set up the guillotine. It is guillotine. Guillotine. The L's make a Y sound. I'm sorry, that's been pissing me off for quite some time. Anyway, Tommy goes to set up the guillotine. Lotus is literally hysterically in laughter. She thinks this is one big joke. She was like, well, don't you think this is a bit, dramatic? Like, come on. And Madam immediately just pulls, no more conversation. She immediately just pulls the string, and Lotus is now a wilted flower. She is history. She's beheaded, and the mail is being packaged to send said head to Mr. Concierge Fernando, Fernando's his brother. Send the head to Concierge. So whatever the war is that is upon us is here. I mean, it probably began when she kidnapped her, but we're definitely going to be in the throes of war in season 3. All right, Fuego is performing, and he physically cannot stomach the thought of what he has done or has had to do, and he runs off stage and he's throwing up or whatever it is that's going on. And he also warns D. He's about to storm out, right? But before he leaves, he tells Big D, listen, this ain't what you want, player. This is not the place that you need to be. You need to run far away from here, and leaves him with that information. And that would have sent me, because what kind of warning is that? Now, it's a strong warning, but give me some context. Like, Are you just saying that because you're jealous? What information do you actually have that supports these claims that I need to get the fuck on? Oh, is what I need to know. But I mean, it's not written that way. So anyway, yeah. So that he leaves him with that information and he leaves mid shift, which doesn't look good at all. Fernando brings a box to concierge, and of course it's for Madam, and it is Lois's pretty little head in a box, and that, you know, for him lets him know like it's pretty much no turning back at this point. Fuego goes to the precinct, and he wants to talk to Detective Davis. He wants to tell her everything, and as he is walking through, you know what? Back up, because I'm thinking they're walking. They don't go straight to an office to talk. Detective Davis parlays him through the cells, basically, and Babyface sees him. That don't even make sense to me now that I'm thinking. And she had this little smirk on her face as she's walking. So I don't know, maybe the smirk meant, oh, I finally got somebody to crack. Or let Babyface see you cracking so he can maybe want to snitch too. I don't know. It was giving smirk like, yeah, got you, bitch. It was giving that. But anyway, Babyface sees him walking with Detective Davis, and so now he has to get the information back to Madam because Fuego may be breaking ranks, and that is unfortunate for him because he still seems to be oblivious to the fact that they will chop your ass up. Like, he seems to think that Madam ain't who she is. Like, there's something real gullible and real naive about him that is just, it's pitiful because he doesn't realize that you are in danger, Molly, and you should have just went peacefully or just disappeared off the face of the earth and just never went back to work or whatever it is. But you took a different route, and so that's probably going to cost you your life. All right, so that is it for season 2, episode 19. We'll be right back with season 20 to finish out the season. I mean, episode 20 to finish out the season. In the meantime, let me know what you think about episode 19. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is that you feel like doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.